foremost, we would like to give all praise and glory unto
Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem Rakakadash.
double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to us younger brothers, and peace and blessings, salutation to the hopeful lake out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, pushing to get up out of here, man. Shalom to the hopeful lake, the believers, the listeners who have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. All right, and what we're witnessing, all right, in this time frame is the fall of an empire. You know, we are in the midst of a fall of an empire. Matter of fact, brother, get Psalm 75. Let's start at 4, man. All right, because what people don't understand in the earth is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. He raises up kingdoms and takes them down. And see, we're in the midst of taking down the kingdom. All right, hey, because if you're getting ready to move from one house, you know, to another, what happens, man? All right, you start taking things out piece by piece, and we seeing this kingdom fall piece by piece, man. You know, we're in the closeout sale.
Yeah.
You know,
Everything must go.
yeah, America's being completely liquidated, man.
Yeah.
All right. That's why you see the elites, they have moved most of their assets to the east. Why you think China is so built up? You know, why you think India is damn near cashless, man? Those European nations, all right, are almost cashless, man. Everyone in the east is moving from the dollar. Why? Because the elites are setting up shop in the east, man. America has done what it was, you know, what it prophesied to do, you know? And now we're seeing it taken down. Go ahead.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 75, verse 4.
Yep.
I said unto the fools, deal not foolishly,
Yep.
and to the wicked, lift not up the horn.
And who is the fool? Esau Edom. See, when you read the scriptures, a lot of times there's a lot of things that's directed towards Esau Edom. You know, it doesn't say Esau Edom every time, but see, who is the fool? All right, because what does it say? What is Psalms 14:1? Get that real quick. All right, because this is the mindset of a fool, and this is how Esau Edom moves in the earth. Go ahead.
Psalms 14:1. The fool has said in his heart,
The damn fool have said in his heart. Go ahead.
there's no God.
There is no God. All right? Because here it is. Esau Edom does things in the earth as if there's no consequences, man.
Right.
This man moves around as if there's nothing that can judge him, man. You know? Here it is. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua created our bodies perfectly, man. What did the Elohim say when they created? It was good. It was good. Everything in Genesis, the first and second chapter, this man is trying to undo. All right? Our bodies don't need no help fighting off diseases, man. It just needs a good diet. You know? But Esau Edom saying he can upgrade this, he can upgrade that. This man, in his mind, he moves like there is no Most High. He gonna change the sex. Tell people they can change their sex. That's him in his heart saying there is no Most High. Read that again. Okay, come. Read that again.
The Psalms 41, so it's like Psalms 14:1.
Psalm 14:1. Go ahead.
The fool has said in his heart,
Yep.
there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works.
Yep.
There is none that do it good.
There is none that do it good, man. All right? Every Edomite on the planet Earth, in their mind, is to do wickedness, man. Whether on a small scale, a middle scale, or a large scale, man. According to his power, that's how much wickedness he does, man. You know? And we're seeing wickedness is at an all-time high. Because this man is trying to upset the prophecy, but he's playing into the hands of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. Go ahead.
Good.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 29, verse 15.
Yep.
Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Most High.
Yep, go ahead.
And their works are in the dark,
Yep.
and they say, who seeth us, and who knoweth us?
Yeah, and that's how these Edomites been moving. Everything's been done in secrecy, man. You know, they secretly, all right, pretty much overtook the governments of the earth. They've secretly gained control of them. To the point now where the earth is in their hand, but it had to happen because that's prophecy, man. The earth was given into their hands, so they was able to creep up in every government on the earth and get a stronghold, man. You know? And with that stronghold, he's trying to do the same thing Nimrod did with the Tower of Babel, man. Bring everyone together. This is nothing but a technological Tower of Babel, man. You know? Go ahead. Yep. Go get that song, 75. Yeah, 75.
This is back in the book of Psalms, chapter 75, verse 4. I said unto the fools, deal not foolishly, and to the wicked, lift not up thy horn. Lift not up your horn on high, speak not with stiff neck.
Yeah, and that's what Esau Edom is doing. You see, this man is hard just like ancient Pharaoh. He has lifted up his horn, his power. You know? And he's literally lifted up, man. Because he put weapons what? In the air now. He's lifted up his power. All right? He's the nation of people. All right? Because the guy, Mike Adams, he made a beautiful point. Because people trust America so much. All right? These sheeple, but they don't understand we've been the only government that dropped atomic weaponry on civilians, man. All right? American government is the only government that ever did that, man. You see? That show what? He lifted his horn, his power on high, man. You know? And now his power reaches to the heavens. The Shemayim, man. The atmosphere. You see? Go ahead. So he does everything the Bible tells him not to do, man. Go ahead.
Verse 6. For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south, but the Most High is the judge. He put it down one and set it up another.
Yeah, see, that's what people don't understand, man. The earth, dealing with the rulership of the earth, is all a decision of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai. He chooses what nation to be in power, what nation to take down. You know, the same way you choose what shirt to wear. Well, that's how the Most High does with the rulership of the earth, man. All right, and it's all for His purpose, because mainly it's to chasten, all right, His sons. You know, because you gotta think all these captivities He's been through has been a chastening, man. But it was for Him to have joy and us at the end. You brother, get that Sirach 31. You got it.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, starting at verse 13. For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of power, I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds, I will be like the Most High.
Yeah, because Esau Edom said he would put his thrones in the heavens. And what does throne represent? That's your seat of judgment. You know? So now this man feels that he can judge in the atmosphere, man. You know? He's in the atmosphere. You know, a lot of these wildfires is being started. That's this man with them DEW, them direct energy weapons, you know, sending down fire, man. So that's that man's throne being in what? In the heavens. Because he can be sitting in a room and the leash can make a decision and say, look, let's start a fire in this part of California, man. Let's get these people distracted while we set up all these legislation. So that man's throne, his seat of judgment has reached to the heavens, man. You know, this is the only man that's fulfilling this, because no other nation, all right, ever had weaponry that was in the air. Never had, all right, a military force that was in the air, that was exalted to the clouds, literally, man. This man fulfills that, man. You had something, bro?
This is what 18.
Yeah, go back to that song.
You know, I'm gonna start at 3. I'm gonna just read 3. So what 18:3. Who governed the world with the palm of his hand and all.
Started at 1.
All right, good. So what 18:1. He that liveth forever had created all things in general.
Yep.
The Lord only is righteous, and there's none other but He.
Yep. The Lord only is righteous. And even Yahweh Shai said that when that man came to him and said, good master, he said there was only one good, even the Father. You see? Go ahead.
Who governed the world with the palm of his
Who
hand.
governed the world with the palm of his hand. You see? The same way Esau Edom sets up puppet rulers, where the Most High, everyone that's in power is a puppet ruler. You see? Of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai. Because, hey, these Edomites are doing the bidding of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai, man. You know?
Hey, well, it's in Proverbs 21, the king's heart is in the hands of the Lord.
Yeah.
He turn it whithersoever he will.
Yep. Because what is a puppet ruler? It's someone that seems to be in power, but there's a force behind him that's really calling the shots. You know? And that's on every level. All right, local government, then you have, you have your local officials, then you have your state officials, your federal officials. All right, then what? You have the elitists, man. You know? And then after the elitists, you have the Most High. All right? Through his son Yahushua, man. Go ahead.
And all things obey his will.
Yep, all things obey his will. What's that Ecclesiastes 5:1? There'll be one judge above. You got it, bro. Just keep going. Yep.
It said, and all things obey his
And
will.
all things obey his will. Hey, what we talking about before camp? A 2-year-old shot his daddy multiple times. He was just obeying the will of Yahweh Bashem Al Shah. How can a 2-year-old, you got grown men can't shoot somebody multiple times, man? You know, but a 2-year-old shot his father multiple times, man, and killed him.
The angel just behind him holding steady.
Yeah.
Squeeze, nigga.
Yeah.
Squeeze.
What's the on Men's Society? It's
yeah.
not loaded. Well, this was loaded.
It said, and all things obey his will.
Yeah.
For he is the king of all.
He's the king of all. You see?
Capitalized.
Yeah, because Esau, Edom, he throws himself around as if there's nothing above him. You know? He has this pride like there's nothing above him, man. All right? But the Most High is still king over everything, man. And everything obeys his will, man. That's why even what the Apostle Hart said, look, this is the Most High's microchip, man. You know? Go ahead.
It said, by his power divided holy things among them from profane.
Yep, holy things from profane, you know? Things that are holy separate and things that are profane that are outside. The Most High, he does the dividing, showing that it ain't of us, man. We pray to stay, within this circle of righteousness, man. Because we see everything outside of this man is true, you know? You got it.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 39. See now that even I am he, and there is no power with me.
Yep. Hey, he said, I am he, there's no power with me, because everything generates from Yahweh Bashem Al Shah. He's the source. Even Yahweh Shah was brought forth. You know? Because he said there's no power with him. That means that he didn't get his power from nothing else, man. All right? Yahweh Shah is at his right hand, but Yahweh Shah's power comes from the Heavenly Father. He doesn't draw power from nothing else, man. He doesn't. He's the existing one.
I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand.
Read it again, bro.
Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 39. See now that even I am he, and there is no power with me. I kill and I make alive.
Yeah, so death and life is in the hand of Yahweh Bashem Al Shah. And see, Esau, he's just an instrument that the Most High uses to do mass killing, man. All right, he was created to be what he is, man. And see, the Most High really finna turn this guy up, cause Esau he's being agitated with people knowing all his counsel, man. The scripture talk about how Esau is bare and he can't hide himself. Hey, he's getting frustrated, man, cause he used to doing what, man? Being able to just say something and everyone go along with it without questioning, man. Now it's an uproar. Every time he say something, it's an uproar. When you in authority, man, that's irritating when every time you make a decision, your decision is being questioned, man. And that's provoking this man to really show his true nature, because he trying to be sly and try to hide their true nature. No, the Most High is making them come out, man.
Ecclesiastes 11:14. Prosperity and adversity, life and death, poverty and riches come of the Lord.
Yep. Hey, so the Most High control who's rich, who's poor, who lives and who dies, man. People think that they got on their own, got out the mud and self-made. No. The Most High already had ordained for certain people to be rich, certain people to be poor, and everything in between. And that's what people finna understand, that Yahweh Bashem Al Shah, all right, is in full control of the affairs of the earth, man. Not people. Ain't no self-will, ain't no free will. You know? You got it, bro.
Back in verse 39 of Deuteronomy chapter 32, it says, I make alive, I wound, and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hands.
And all that judgment is issued from the throne in the spiritual realm. Before Esau can bring Jacob trouble, it has to be okayed in the spiritual realm. Before mass destruction, before any nuclear weapon is shot, it has to be ordained from the spiritual realm. All right? It has to be signed off from the spiritual realm. See, go ahead.
For I lift up my hand to the heaven and say, I live forever.
Yep, I live forever. All right, he is. You know, and that's who we serve. That's who we worship, man. Through his son, Yahushua. All right, go ahead.
So John 5:19. And we know that we are the Most High.
We are of the Most High, because remember the scripture said how the Most High divide the holy from the profane. Go ahead.
And the whole world lies in wickedness.
But the whole world, this whole society lies in wickedness. You have the elect, which will be considered the holy, and the rest of the world will be the profane. Even, all right, the unbelievers of Israel, they will be considered profane at this time frame, man. All right, and the Most High makes that division, man. And you see the division becoming more and more evident, man. All right, you got guys coming out with a reality show. You know, that's the division. Yeah, that's the division. That's the Most High dividing the profane from the holy. And if you can't see it, because there ain't no sense of doing a response. If you need a response video to that, you way behind, man. You know, you light years behind in the spirit. If it takes some precepts to tell you to get off, man. In these times, here it is, Esau, you know, Esau's on the goal line with his new world order. You know.
Sharpening sword.
Yeah. Come on, man. Jake gotta discern the time. But only the elect gonna do it, man. And see, prophecy finna uppercut everybody out their seats, man. You know?
Upcut from hell.
Yeah, prophecy finna knock niggas out their socks. Hey, because these Edomites in a different spirit. Like we were talking about before, Captain. These Edomites out here in the streets right now, man. They dead ass serious about them kids wearing the masks, man. You see? While a nigga around here still being goofy. All right? Go ahead.
I got precept for you. So, Luke 12:56, ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky and of the earth, but how is it that ye do not discern this time?
And the leaders of these people can't discern the time, man. The mindset, even, like I say, the children of this world are wiser, right, than the children of light, man. Now it's making a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Now it's making a lot of sense, man. Because Esau, these Edomite parents is making a strong stand about these kids, man. But Jake is sending their kids to the slaughter, man. Jake don't know what's going on in the earth, man. All the nigga know, all right, is NFL preseason, the Lakers off-season trades, you know. That's the only thing the nigga really know. Once you get outside that, a nigga really ain't got much to talk about, man. But here it is, Esau's turning the earth into a death camp right in front of you people, man. And our people still goofy as hell, man. Yeah, something with it. Okay, come on.
They're walking dead, basically.
Yep.
They just walking
Get that,
dead.
you got something? Yep. Get somebody get Isaiah 42. I won't say 19.
This is Zephaniah. Zephaniah 1:17.
Yep.
And I will bring distress upon man
Yep.
that they should walk like blind men.
Yeah, hey, before you jump to Zephaniah 1.
14 or start 14?
Yeah, get that. Yeah.
Zephaniah 1:14.
Matter of fact, I think it's selling on the it's in the same chapter. I think it's 12. Yeah, get that. Yeah.
Zephaniah 1:12.
Yep.
And it should come to pass at that time that I would soak Jerusalem with candles.
Yep.
And punish the men that are set on their leaves.
Yeah. The Most High finna punish the men that are settled on their leaves. And it's gonna go into the mind frame that these men are in. All right? What mind frame are these men in? Because Lee's is your watch. You're supposed to be on watch, man. Hey, because in the ancient world, if you was a watchman, you couldn't afford to be off. You had to be on point. All right? You had to know, because back in the ancient world, your house would have a different, like if you was a house of nobility, you would have a different flag when you travel. You know? People would know who you are. That's the house of such and such. This the house of such and such. All right? They'll know about the flag. You remember Game of Thrones?
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Starks had that wolf.
Yep.
You know? So if you're a watchman, you gotta be aware. Oh, the Starks is coming. You gotta, such and such is coming. You gotta be on point, man. All right?
If I can add that, leaves also means living an undisturbed lifestyle.
Yep.
Because like you said, they done sold out.
Yep.
So now they're content because basically of this lifestyle Esau has given them for selling out.
Yeah.
So-
They sell on their
Yeah,
leaves.
they sell on their
Yeah,
leaves,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
just to back you up.
Hey, and the NLT said to punish those who sit complacent.
Woo! An undisturbed lifestyle.
To give the pleasure.
Yeah, an undisturbed lifestyle. You sold out.
Because to do a reality show, hey, you gotta deal with the higher ups, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here it is. These jakes can do all this agent behavior, but then we call it out. We bearing false witness.
Right.
But they got free will to call us rapists,
Right.
pedophiles,
Right.
which there hasn't even been any accusation on document of any brother in GMS doing that.
Deadbeats.
Yeah, but they get to scream that, all right, and make a whole movement about that. But these guys do all this Asian behavior, and then if we mention Asian, oh, we hate, we bearing false witness. All right.
This is the reality show, or a really reality movie, if you will, of Yahweh Bashim outside, man.
Yeah.
This is what's going on. This is true reality, man. And we warning about the thing that's gonna come, man. The prophecies, man.
Man, you know what? And that's a beautiful point. The brother said reality. Reality means what's real. You know what I'm saying? What's real.
Yeah.
And we're coming from a logical, spiritual standpoint within the Holy Scriptures. Everything outside of the Scriptures is vanity.
Yeah.
All right, this American dream, you going back to a so-called normal lifestyle, which was abnormal in the first place.
Yeah.
All that shit is over with, man. Esau has pressed his goddamn foot on the gas, man, and there's no turning back.
He's possessed.
He's possessed with it. All right, why? He know that he had. Can I get something real
Yeah.
quick? Hey, get Ecclesiastes 12 and 12.
Revelation.
Revelation 12 and 12. And then go to Job 5 and 13.
Revelation 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in
Hey,
them.
and within this process, hey, your mindset has to be either do or die. You know, you supposed to have been departing from this world from a spiritual standpoint years ago. If you still got that itch to go to a club or go to the bar every weekend or do this or do that, you're not in the right spirit. Because now Esau is coming, hey, hence New Orleans. If you're not vaccinated, you can't go to the Superdome, you can't go to the clubs, you can't go to the pubs, you can't go to the casinos, you can't go to the restaurants, man. So this lifestyle is over, but the scripture in Micah stated, depart from this place, it is not your rest. Starting with your mindset. And now you detox from that, you're no longer caring about that shit, man.
And you can't say Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai ain't fair. Because he locked it down one time to get your mind right. To see, like, look, I can shut this shit down in a week. I can shut the earth down in a week if I want to.
Yeah.
You see? And then he opened it back up, all right, for us to really get ourselves together, kind of put ourselves in position. Because now we finna go into the game.
That's
man.
it.
And if you haven't been preparing in the preseason, it's gonna show in the season, man.
If I could say this, you know, and hey, get it be real fast, bro. Could you give me Ezekiel 33 and 33? Because you know, Apostle Tahar, the Spirit has stated that what the microchip was actually spoken of in Revelation 13 chapter. But last year he made another strong statement. He stated that the government basically would let the economy recover. Not in those exact words, but he said it wasn't the time frame of the end. But this time frame, he said, now you watch it back then, he said last year that, hey, the second time around, hey, it's gonna be hell, it's gonna be trouble. So now Apostle Tahar stated this week in a video that, hey, it's over. It's the end. That goes to show you that the Spirit is dealing with that man. He was the only prophet I know of, you know what I'm saying, basically saying it's not over yet. It's gonna make a recovery, you know, which it did. So the spirit is not dealing with him. I get that, B.
Ezekiel 33 and 33.
Talk to you.
This book of Ezekiel, chapter 33, verse 33. And then this cometh to pass, lo, it will come. Then shall they know that a prophet has been among them.
Hey, you measure a prophet by prophecy. Okay? If that man speaks something and it happens, okay, like he said, deal the spirit, then you know that that man was a prophet. And a prophet does what? He prophesied. And when you break that term down, it means to say before it happens. All right? So who knows the mind of Yahweh Shem Al-Shah? His holy men that receive the holy doctrine, and what connects them is the Holy Spirit.
That's right.
All right?
So Romans 11, thank you, 34. For we have known the mind of the Lord, or who have been his counselor.
The prophets. The prophets. Go on and get Hosea 12 and 10. All right? Go ahead.
So Hosea 12, verse 10. And it says, I have also spoken by the prophets.
I have spoken by the prophets. So if the prophets are speaking by Yahweh Hashem Al-Shah, by default, they have to have some understanding of his thoughts. Go ahead.
And I have multiplied visions.
Visions, meaning what? Prophecies. Go ahead.
And used similitudes
Right?
by the ministry
The
of the prophets.
similitudes is nothing but metaphors, man. Go ahead.
By the ministry of the prophets.
By the ministry of the prophets, meaning what? Preaching.
The arrows,
Exactly.
you know, mark
Yeah.
the number of a man.
Yeah.
Those are all similitudes.
That's it.
They were symbolic. The seven-headed beast.
That's it.
The 10 horns.
That's it, bro.
Them was all similitudes,
The
man.
dragon.
The dragon.
You know, the woman.
Yep.
The snake, the serpent. We can go on and on, man. All right, hey, what I call it for? Hey, get Revelation 12 and 12.
It's Revelation 12, verse 12. And it says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea.
Right.
For the devil is come down to you having great wrath, because he knoweth they have but a short time.
And we are approaching the great wrath of the devil, man. Because pretty soon now it's about the mandates. All right, which is his orders, which is his commands. All right, you go into that term mandate, it means what? To give someone into the hand of. So through the politicians, the doctors, the researchers, the scientists, the nurses, and things of that nature, they are doing the bidding for the elite bankers, man. And they have you thinking you're sick at one point of time, but we know that it's something really out there. But at the end of the day, their goal is to help the elite attain the new world order, man.
Going to a Greek word for wrath is thumas, and it says passion, angry, heat, anger forthwith boiling up.
And that's coming from what? The military faction. Okay, these military factions who are employed by Esau to do his bidding, man, by force.
That's why the troops coming back. Like the troops leaving Afghanistan.
Yeah.
They're coming back to police here.
Yeah.
That's right, bro.
Because you got a lot of UN, a lot of UN vehicles have been spotted in America. Even when you go to the border patrol, all right? You go to the border patrol, that's a lot of UN troops down there, man. Because see, the UN troops are really nothing but guns for hire. You know, the local police force, they're not all the way in the loop of the New World Order. You might have the police chief, the sheriff, you know, they down with the play, you know, a few loyal men to them. But see, the police force, they not all the way in the loop. See, it's gonna be them troops.
Everybody can know that.
Yeah, it's gonna, and that's why they pushing chaos, what's gonna justify the troops.
Mm-hmm.
It's too violent for the regular police. You know? That's the time. They finna get chaos. This division is finna leave the bloodshed, man.
That's right.
All right.
That's
now
right.
look at the atmosphere that's in the earth. Tensions are at an all-time high, man. Now you add inflation to that.
Mm-hmm.
You add inflation to that, man. That's gasoline on the fire that's already kindled.
Unemployment.
Yeah. The moratorium.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
tensions is already here. Just need that spark, man.
That's it, bro.
More mandates.
Yep.
Add more mandates.
That's it. That's it. And that's what they want, like the brother's saying, because they know they have but a short time, man.
That goes into Esau's chaos. You know, they want that chaotic type of behavior on the earth so they can set their order.
Never waste a good crisis.
That's right. And this Jeremiah 51:2. It was sent unto Babylon fanners that should fan her.
Right.
So,
And ultimately, let's talk about the nuclear destruction. All right, because besides Russia, you're going to have these other countries like North Korea and etc. The EU sending missiles on here. Okay, but it's going to start with when Russia press that button, man. Go ahead.
And they can know with Yahweh Shah stated in Luke 12:49, I am come to set fire on the earth, and what will I?
Chaos.
If it be already kindled.
Chaos. And what's going to start that? Hey, the brother just identified that via the Spirit. And get that sedition, man.
So, 2 Edges 15 and 16. But that should be sedition among men.
Sedition means what? To set apart. All right, so you're going to have people against people. Why? Because of a belief system. We believe this way, he believes in that way. Okay, we don't believe the government, therefore we want to take the government down. He's not getting the vaccination, therefore we got to tell on him. All of this is sedition, which means to set apart. All right? Divide and conquer, man. All right? Was it real quick or you want to? You trying to leak? Okay, go ahead.
But that should be sedition among men, invading one another.
Invading one another, because people are going to need food. All right? So if this person is out of food, okay, in his household, he's going to come to your door or anybody else he thinks that has it. And if you got a generator during that time frame, if they see them fucking lights on, you're a sitting fucking duck, man. If you got a garden, you know, or if they see a source of water on your land, they coming for it, man.
But it say invading one another.
That's right.
It didn't say they're gonna barter with one another. They said they're gonna invade one another, man. Because you gotta think like you're not gonna barter with somebody when you don't know how it's so chaotic. You're not gonna be bartering with nobody because you don't know what the next hour in store for the next hour. So you're not gonna be bartering with people. No, you're gonna be, I'm going in there. Yeah. You see?
And like you brought out the point last year, there's no honor in a barter system.
No.
With a bunch of thieves, man, and crooks and murderers. You know, you can't trust them niggas, man. They'll do it right the first time, and then the second time they're gonna get you just to see how you behave the first time.
Double back.
A double back,
And they
man.
showed on Spartacus, remember he made that trade with those pirates, how they flipped on them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The barter system. And you trust nobody in this time frame.
No, except for the bros, man.
A desperate situation gonna bring the animal out of people, man. Straight animal instincts. It's gonna be straight about survival, man. So if that neighbor that you know what I'm saying, cook barbecue with on Sunday, drink a couple beers and shit, hey, that's gonna be that same neighbor gonna have a pistol to your head, man.
And that's what separates us via Lord will with the hopeful elect from them. Because see, the law, statutes, and commandments, because of, you know, we try to do that to the best of our ability, because we've been born again, it's a way of life. But see, these animals out here that haven't been basically born again, 2/3 of our people, as well as these other nations, they don't have that mindset because they didn't go through the process of being sanctified. So they're not governed by their fear or faith. So just like a dog will follow the rules until you're away from home. Then that animalistic behavior is gonna come out that dog. And these people are brute fucking beasts, man. They would do any and everything to keep themselves full. That means go in that bedroom and boil your fucking daughter, man.
Hey, what Alex Jones say?
He's sizing his neighbors up.
He said, my daughter's not starved.
Yeah.
I will eat my neighbor. Yes. I already said it, my daughter's not starved.
Yeah.
I got some nice pistol.
This second edge is 6 and 24. At that time, shall friends fight one against another like
Hey, friends
enemies.
supposed to be brothers, man. Friends supposed to be brothers. That's where you get that term fraternity from, man. A brotherhood. But during that time frame, that desperate time calls for desperate measures, man. People would do any and everything to survive, to actually survive, man. A motherfucker snitch on you just to get your position at work. Imagine if he's hungry. Imagine if his fucking life is on the line, man. Hey, what Cactus Jack used to say back in the day? I'll break my foot just to break yours.
Yo.
Straight up. Yeah.
They say, at that time, shall friends fight one against another
And
like
that's literal,
enemies.
like enemies. Why? Because at the end of the day, it's about what you got. And at that time frame, I need it.
Yeah.
You know, I would kill my mama for it. Hey, what piece on about it, man? Friend, I don't even trust my motherfucking mama, man. Hey, go ahead, bro.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 19, verse 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians,
Modern day America, man. Okay, go ahead.
and they shall fight every one against his brother.
Hey, sedition. They're gonna be set apart. This is the spirit. All right, and this is how you know a fucking kingdom is crumbling when the point guard and the center can no longer get along. Look at the Lakers dynasty with Kobe and Shaq, and it's the same thing that's going on with these Edomites, man. Okay, hey, Tate Reeves down here don't believe in it. He don't believe in the jab, but you have other Edomites that believe in the jab. All right, so that's sedition, the Egyptian versus the Egyptian. Go ahead.
And every one his neighbor, city against
A
city.
neighbor is a person that lives by you or across from you. So that person that would normally come to your house to check on him when you're out of town, he's gonna be, oh, hey, he's gonna want your head, man. Yeah, he's gonna be checking for you.
And king,
Like you say, people been lusting over each other's wives for the longest. Yeah.
So they got the neighbor's daughters.
Yeah. It's finna be real ancient world out here, man.
Just like the
Dog.
bird.
Yep.
They waited the whole entire year for that one day.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
hey, I was looking at it was some on TV or YouTube, man. But anyway, this Edomite went to somebody's door, man, and he was knocking on the door, right? So the dude that spoke through the camera on his doorbell, he like, "What you doing?" Man, the Edomite said, "I think your wife's in there." He said, "I was finna rape her. She come to the door. I'm a rape her, and I got a knife, and I'm gonna kill her." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" And I mean, but that right there, just shit ain't just went off the hinges yet, man.
Yeah.
This is just the average motherfucker in the hood, just walking through a neighborhood, knocking on doors, wanting to rape and kill somebody. So just imagine when there's gonna be a lawless land, man. Just imagine when there's not gonna be no 911 to call, man. Hey, the worst position you can imagine yourself being in is not gonna be the worst position you're gonna be in.
That's right.
You know what I mean? It's gonna be
right.
horrible out here,
That's
man.
right, bro.
You know,
That's right.
it's gonna be a fucking a complete nightmare, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, bring that up. I got you, B. I got you.
Back in 2 Ezra 15 and 16, but there should be sedition among men invading one another.
Right.
They should not regard their
They
kings.
and they're evading people because they don't want food, water, women, and alcohol. Yeah. Go ahead.
They should not regard their kings.
Hey, they should not regard their kings. Why? Because he's going to be lawless. Hey, what Jay-Z say, no church for the wild? All right, so they want to break down society, break down the so-called rules and regulations or that bullshit-ass constitution to do what? To actually activate the new world order.
The Constitution gone.
Because, yeah, Bush said it years ago, it was nothing but a piece of paper, man. Go ahead, bro.
They said no princes
No princes.
in the course of their actions to stand in their power.
Meaning, if you kill this person, you would not be arrested. Why? Because they're not going to have any police or any sheriffs or any CIA agents to enforce it.
Right. And that's gonna be contributing to the depopulation.
And the crime rate.
yeah.
They say a man should desire to go to a city and should not be able.
Yeah, for you niggas that want to go to New Orleans and had that shot, goddamn, you better get down there before the 16th. Because Bourbon Street is no more as you know it, unless you receive that jab.
Yep.
And if you get the jab, you might as well go and get the knockout punch. Because you will never be the same. The closer, man.
They said, for because of their pride, the city should be troubled.
Because of their pride. All right? And so now judgment is coming upon people, man. All right? Hey, and when a person is proudful, it's a mighty, mighty fall, man. These Americans got a mighty, mighty fall. These 2/3 has a mighty, mighty fall. These black women have a mighty, mighty fall. Just like the goddamn Vanilla Sky when Tom Cruise was on that building, and it seemed like he was never gonna touch the ground. And once he make that imprint, that impact with the ground, OV. The longer you hang up there, the harder the impact, man.
They
Go
say,
ahead.
The houses should be destroyed and man should be afraid.
Hey, you know, men supposed to be men. But to make a man afraid, that is a huge statement. Why? Because of what's transpiring on earth in real time.
They said men should be like women that day.
Right. You got 10 or 15 people outside, you don't got no weapon. You know what I'm saying? But you got a dog inside the house.
Pocket nukes going off.
And pocket nukes going off. See, we got faith and fear. So we don't give a damn.
Hey.
But these people out here, they don't have nothing to believe in. And now they're walking around the world aimlessly, man. 2/3 of our people don't know what the fuck to do. And that's why they no longer call on Jesus and God. They believe in science.
Yeah, you know what it remind me of? You said they come to the, you own a person in the house,
Mhm.
and like a wide earth. When they all came,
Yeah.
a whole of them.
Yeah.
Like it's a whole, she don't know how
There's
many
about
was.
50 people out
Yeah,
there.
came, and you by yourself, you ain't got shit.
Yeah.
Oh, it's over. And your
Yeah.
daughter in there, oh, it's over.
Yeah.
What can you do?
What can you do?
What can you do?
Man, get one of the BB on, man. She can't be jumping for everybody.
Hey, 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, verse 40. Oh, my people, hear my word. Make you ready to the battle.
Hey, you Israelites, make you ready to the battle. Why? Because Ecclesiastes 12:1, the evil days has been activated. Evil means what? Bad times. We are in the entry phases of Jacob trouble, whether you believe it or not. This is the end, man. And you see mandates popping up, populating. You know, as soon as you refresh your phone, it's another order. What you can't do, or what you gotta do. Make yourself ready for the battle, meaning what your mindset. Don't worry about piling up guns and shit like that. No, you get your mind right, meaning your faith in Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Go ahead, bro.
And in those evils, be even as pilgrims upon the earth.
Yeah, if all you cats thinking that you got like nothing but water and canned goods and beef jerky and shit, hey, you may have to leave your house that very night. You know, so if you're a pilgrim, you are actually moving. You're always on the move, man. You're constantly moving. Yeah, exactly, man.
Then they got the executive order 83. All right, Bill Lee in Tennessee. And pretty much, they can come to your house and say that you have a mental illness for not taking the Vanessa, man. So it's to the point now where you have no power. How about you, man? Shot about to show people how powerless they are, man. And Tennessee just the first state to do it, man. They're gonna constantly do it in every state, man. They already doing it in Israel. They coming in and taking kids out of the house for people that supposedly have tested positive. They're coming to take their kids out the house, man. It's video footage.
You said every state. I remember we live in the United States.
Yep.
And what connects them? The federal government.
And you know how you see them old ancient movies like with Rome and everything, and on the map when they conquer and stuff, and they start coloring it like red or something.
Yeah.
Just going through. That's pretty much how it is, man. They start in particular states, but they just gonna spread. Just gonna spread throughout the whole, especially here in Babylon, but throughout the globe, man, because they want to conquer everything. You know what I'm saying? Because what's the point of having a new world order if you don't have control over the whole world?
That's right.
You know, so it's gonna hit on every avenue, man.
That's right. And the dollar couldn't do that. It had to be a virus. That's shit small. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 41, he that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away, and he that buyeth as one that will lose.
Meaning what? No attachments to it, bro. You know what I'm saying? You get it how you live during that time frame. And you're supposed to be actually nurturing this mindset right now because this is pre-game. This is practice. All right? Now during game time, you don't got the goddamn time to build yourself up. You know what I'm saying? Or try to remember the plays and think about what you're supposed to be in.
You gotta make decisions on the move.
That's it.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta be precise. Game time, everything comes quickly.
You gotta be fully persuaded. See, and this the playbook. All right. And here it is. You got guys, you know, saying that they don't believe in the whole playbook.
That's right. Both sides gonna allow everybody to play in this big game.
Or taking plays
You know
out
what
the
I'm saying?
playbook.
And your performance is gonna be judged by your faith and your fear in Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
They say, love not the world and the things in it.
Verse 42, he that occupies merchandise as he that hath no profit by it,
That's right.
and he that buildeth as he that shall not dwell therein.
That's right. Like literally no faith in these things. You know what I'm saying? You get it how you live, man. Like no emotions involved. You know, you're gonna have people that just built a house and then they're gonna be saying, look, I'm not gonna leave my house. You know, or I just got this car, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna stay with my car. You know, you'll be surprised how carnal people are, man. And those same attachments is gonna bring death upon them, man.
He that soweth as if he should not reap,
Yeah.
so also he that planteth the vineyard as he that shall not gather the grapes. They that marry as they that shall get no children, and they that marry not as
And
the
you
widows.
literally have to have a soldier-like mentality, man. Go ahead, bro.
In 2 Timothy 2 and 3, thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach.
And a soldier lives what? A solitary life. A simple life. His mindset is always focused on his objective. Alright? And that's the spiritual mindset we must be in. The objective is attaining the kingdom of heaven. And not being attached to these carnal things, man. Hey, you didn't see Rambo attached to anything, man. You know, he was constantly on the move. The only problem Rambo had, he couldn't cut it off, man.
And because when you are in the military and you the ground forces, pretty much you gotta survive, you know, until the Air Force come through. All right, you gotta make it to the pickup. See, so we have to be out here on the move really much. We gonna be in the spirit of survival, man. Every decision gonna be based on surviving. You know, that's why, like you said, like when you go into a soldier has a mind frame that he gotta make it back home. And see, our home is not here. We talking about Jerusalem. You see, every decision he makes is for him to get back home. You know, hey, he might have to. You see, he might have to run through a village. You know, ransack something. You know, he might have to hold somebody hostage. Hey, he gonna do some things like. Them soldiers be having all type of stories on what they had to do to get back home, man. That was the only objective. That was their driving motivation with their decision making. We gotta get home, man. And that's how it's gonna be out here, man.
And part of the soldier on that battlefield is having that mindset, you know, keeping that eye single.
Yep.
You know, you think about that focus, man. And you also, when you're on that battlefield, you got casualties of war.
Yep.
So it could be like your family, you know what I'm saying? Like people that's near, you know, close to you, you might lose them. So you gotta be in that mindset. I can lose, but at the same time, it's best to have that mind or the mentality of expecting the worst, man.
That's it, bro. You know? That's what you should anticipate.
Yep.
Because all those things the other brother was naming, those are perks of a first class society, a functioning society. You know.
2 Ezra chapter 16 and verse 45. And therefore they that labor in vain, for strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods.
Meaning you may have person A to leave his house and then person B come in that house. Or you may have A in the house and just get overwhelmed by B. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because he didn't have as powerful weaponry as his other team is coming inside his house. You know? And they show you this all the time in these movies. You know? These apocalyptic movies, they show you that, man. Go ahead, B.
For strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods, overthrow their houses, and take their children captive.
And this is the time frame we're coming into. You know, people, kids will be raped. People, kids will be sold. People, kids will be murdered. People, kids will be enslaved. You know, we're coming into some serious times, man. And you can't say that Yahweh Bashem Al-Shah isn't giving you the time frame to get your mind right. You know, it shouldn't be nobody that knows his truth straddling the fucking fence right now, man. Being fucking lukewarm.
It's Psalms 127 and 1. Except the Lord build a house, they labor in vain that build it. Except the Lord keep the city, the watchmen right keep.
And we think about a spiritual house, which is what? The temple. That's that third temple, which is what? 144,000. Each man is a brick within that temple. And the mortar is who? Yahweh Shah. Okay, and why? Because the Most High built that house. All right, and then that house will be manifested once we get to Jerusalem, man.
It says, except the Lord keep the city, the watchman waking, but in vain.
Right. You know, so you can watch all you want to, but if the Most High is not with it, hey, it's over. Hey, what was that? The account with the king when Syria had attacked Israel, and they were selling doves gone, and the woman ran up to the king and telling him this and that. And he was like, look, if the Most High is with you, what can I do? Literally, I'm through too. I'm suffering just like you are.
This last right here. Verse 47, it says, for strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods,
Right.
overthrow their houses,
Right.
and take their children captives,
Right.
for in captivity and famine shall they get children.
Meaning this is what's going to drive them because of the captivity and famine. Famine means you're hungry. You know, you're hungry. You're desiring to be fed. You know what I'm saying? And you know when you're hungry, you'll do anything. I was watching Ninja Assassin, and he was like, one way you can control your mind is mastering your flesh. And he said hunger, thirst, and pain are all weakness. You know what I'm saying? That brings that carnality-like mindset. But once you're able to master the flesh, and we do that through what? Praying and fasting, man. Why do you think Satan had such a rough time with Yahweh Shah? He was weak in the flesh, but in the spirit, he was 10-10. He fasted 40 days and 40 nights.
This from Gerald Salente. He says, you're going to see crime levels in America that are going to rival that of a third world country.
That goes to show you he's an insider. How does he know? How does fucking Barack Obama talk about an airborne illness in 2017? How does Kamala Harris talks about a second wave last year? They know.
Fauci.
And Fauci.
Years ago, he was already talking about a pandemic.
Which means when his name goes back to Jaws. And when you look up Jaws, it means to be placed in a dangerous position. Hence the jail. And Bill Gates, man.
And it's gonna be much worse in the third world country. The third world country only have a few people that have weapons, you know, because it's impoverished. So it's only a few people that have access to major weaponry, man. You see? But in this society, this first class society, everyone has weaponry, man. You know? So it's gonna be much worse than the third world country, man. It's gonna be like fifth world country in America, man. It's gonna be unbelievable. Say men's heart failing them for things that they see, man. You see? Go ahead.
So it says, you're going to see crime levels in America that are going to rival that of a third world country.
It's going to rival that of a third world country because what's going to happen? What pushes the crime in third world country? Hell, some of these hoods are like they're in the third world country.
Come, bro.
All right? What pushes that crime? All right? The poverty, man.
Yeah.
You see? Go ahead.
Welcome, Mexico City.
Yep.
You're going to start seeing people being kidnapped in this country like they do in other undeveloping nations.
Yeah, and then look at the mindset of this society, careless. Hey, what you think gonna happen in that day, man? You know? What you think gonna happen in that day? There ain't no 911. And you better walk around like that. Hell no.
What's our guy's name? Them troops.
Gerber troops?
Gerber troops?
Yeah.
They see something like that?
Yeah.
It's fun time.
Oh, yeah. Hey, and a lot of you men, a lot of you simps, you know, that worship these women, hey, Most High gonna have them troops rape your women to death in front of you, man.
Man. It's gonna be like Rick Ross. I just said a prayer.
Yep.
And they say it's going to be very violent in America.
It's gonna be very violent. Hey, you gotta understand, America has did nothing but be violent against the rest of the earth. You know?
That's what violence.
Yeah. Scripture talk about America being the hammer of the whole earth. All right? But it says, get that away, Jeremiah 50:14.
Zechariah 14, I'm going to start at 1. Behold, the day of the Lord Yahweh Bashem El Shai coming, and that spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle.
Hey, he said he's going to gather all nations against Jerusalem. Because who controls, all right, the UN? Because the UN is called what? United Nations. So who's gathering the UN troops over here? The Most High. All right? Because the troops, the UN troops are the militia, are the mercenaries, or the elites. And who do the elites hate more than anything? The tribes, man. All right? So you know they got a kill on sight order when it comes to the tribes, man. You know? Go ahead.
It said, for I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city should be taken, and the house is rifled.
They said the city gonna be taken. All right, because these hoods and projects gonna be besieged, man. You know? When these goods and services stop coming, all right, to these residential areas, who you think gonna feel it first, man? Like the Apostle Tahar been saying, in inflation, who feels it first, man? The poorest. That's right. You know? This is a war against the tribes, man. Because it's gonna affect you first. Yeah, and these Edomites that ain't with the system, they finna have to lay down too. But see, it's gonna hit you, it's aimed at you tribes. Alright? These patriot Edomites is gonna be casualties of war. But hey, the target is you tribes, man. You know? Go ahead.
It said, and the city should be taken, and the house is rifled, and the women ravished.
They said the city's taken, the house is rifled, I mean they're gonna run through them houses. All right? They're gonna run through these projects. They're gonna have their way. Because see, it's gonna go back to ancient world, man. People gonna be getting conquered. All the women and children gonna be going into captivity. All right? FEMA camp. Go ahead.
It said, and the women ravished, and half of the city should go forth into captivity.
Half of the city should go forth into captivity. That's mainly the FEMA camps, man. Ravish. Rape.
And I think it was one Obama that signed an executive order where you were able to come seize your land, your home, cattle, and everything.
It's an article, means a video the brother got up where you got UN personnel that's on American soil, but they saying that the building they are in, that this is international territory now. When you step outside, you back in America, but when you come in here, it's international territory, man. You know, go ahead.
It said, and the women ravished, and half of the city should go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people should not be cut off from the city.
The residue is their remnant. Going back to the elect, the elect not going to be cut off.
I don't know, but
you know,
it's a root.
The elect are those mainly those survivors out of all this we finna see, man. All right? That's why the elect, the scripture talk about the elect being scarcely saved, man, because we're going to be in the midst of the chaos, man. That's why it's time to get built up in a particular spirit now. In the serious spirit now, man. You know? Things that we struggle with, it's time to overcome, man. It's time to level up in every way because when this thing kicks off, man, ain't no looking back, man. We got to be fully persuaded of what we believe, man. And we got to move in this thing like anything and everything everyone is disposable, man. Outside of the true men of Yahweh Shem Al Shai, everything else and everyone is disposable, man. We get it back on the other side, man. It's a light thing, all right? A human life is a light thing to Yahweh Shem Al Shai, man. You can't look at death with this westernized lifetime movie mentality that Esau has pushed here, man. We finna see it on mass level. You know? You got something? Yeah.
This is Isaiah 32, verse 2.
Yep.
And it says, and a man should be as a hiding place from the wind. It says, behold, a king shall reign in righteousness.
The king is Yahweh Shai.
And princes shall rule in judgment.
And princes is the joint heir, the elect.
And a man should be as a hiding place from the wind.
Yeah, and a man shall be as a hiding place from the wind. So it talks about, you know, that governing body, Yahweh Shai, and the rest of the 144,000. And then it goes into, before we get to that point, all right, a man gonna be as a hiding place. And see, not any man, it's the men of Yahweh Shem Al Shai. You see? Because it's gonna take a standard being lifted for us to be able, all right, to hold up in these times, man. It's gonna have to be a standard lift. There ain't no other way. The power's gotta come. And even when you think about it, you know, it gets overwhelming because we're gonna see these things, man. It's reality, man. The standard that's gonna be lifted for the men is coming. You know? We gotta talk. That's why it's good to talk about those things because hey, we gotta normalize power coming. Cause that's part of our legacy, man. The sons of God, you know, it's to receive power from on high in the clutch, man. All right, David, he received power from on high when he needed the most, man, against Goliath, man. And we the house of David. Go ahead.
Yep. It says, and the man should be as a hiding place from the wind and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place.
Yep, as the rivers of water in a dry place, which means relief. All right? Because if you in a dry place, you sweat, you dehydrated, water is like what? A relief. You see? A man of Yahweh Shem Al Shai is going to be a relief. And see, men going to be sought out for it. You know? The men of the Lord going to be sought out for it, man. It's going to be people driving trying to see. Well, these brothers teach, they teach in this state. Brother, hey, it's gonna be people wasting their last gas trying to get to a man of the Lord, man. That's why we gotta develop a different mentality, man. You know, the way we have an outlook on things, we gotta have a completely different mentality on how we look at things. This shit finna change. All you gotta do is wait, man. All this finna change, man.
And 9/11, that showed you that in one day that the whole America can change, man. Look at 9/12, you know what I'm saying? It's a whole different type of vibration out here, right? You know?
Hey, it's gonna be a 9/11 in every city. All right?
Like this Ecclesiastes 2:10. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord was confounded, or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken, or whom did he ever despise that call upon him?
Yeah, so you gotta look at the track record of our power and see that's a condemnation on our people that trust in Esau. Because look at the track record of Esau Edom against our people. And look at the track record of Yahweh Shem Al Shai when our people trusted in him, man. He never let us down, man. You see?
And it all starts with obedience.
Yep.
It all begins with obedience.
Yep.
This is Colossians chapter 3, verse 25.
Yep.
But he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he have done.
Most sides open up judgment in the earth, man. That's why we gotta get out of our feelings right now. We gotta be with no emotions right now, man. We gotta move. We can't be, you know, in the spirit, like I say, of this westernized society, man. We're in the time of judgment. You see? And we were watching the Tyrant by Saddam Hussein. See, the Most High, he never left the East. Like people think this guy in Christianity, they try to put God in a suit and tie, you know, like he's, you know, some Target manager or something, man. No, man, the Most High never left the East. So when he judges, he's gonna be in the ways of, he's gonna be gathering people up and judging them on the spot. Ain't gonna be no long awaited trial. And, you know, no, it's gonna be people getting judged. The Most High just opening up judgment in the earth, man. Go ahead.
And there is no respect of persons.
There's no respect of persons, man. All right? So it don't matter how we feel about somebody. It's about the standard. You know? It's all about the standard that's being lifted. That's why the standard is being lifted, so we can know why this person got judged. You know? It makes sense. The judgment makes sense. All right? Let's say something happened at a Black Lives Matter rally and the pocket nuke go off. You're not going to be emotional. Look, damn, what they did to our people. No, they was off. Because we know that Black Lives Matter, that's an anti-Messiah movement. When you look at the head of it, you see?
You're going to rejoice just
Yeah.
like Tobit did.
Yeah.
During the downfall of Nineveh,
Yep.
and because Jonas prophesied of it, you know, but when the destruction actually came, it was a rejoiceful moment, and that's how we're going to be, because we look at, like, people look at this as a your judgmental, or you're actually a hater, or, you know, like you don't love this world or love your life, when the Heavenly Father has already commanded us to hate our lives unto the death and to love not the world. So it's not something wrong with us by living by His words. It's something by you, something wrong with you for rejecting it.
Yeah, I got it. Psalms chapter 9 and verse 15. Yep. The heathen are sunk down in the pit that they made, in the net which they hid is their own foot taken. Yep. And said the net which they hid. Because this whole New World Order agenda with all these different nets, because this whole, so-called pandemic is nothing but a hidden net. They always had this in mind, that they were going to bring this forth.
Right.
It's like a hidden net, because you're walking in the woods, the trap is covered up in leaves. And people just been walking, not knowing that they in the snare.
It was a stumbling block placed in his neighbor's way.
Yep. But see, they finna be taken in their own snare because they're finna go into captivity. But their whole thing is to forward the captivity that they have in the earth, man. They want to get a tighter grip on the captivity that they already have people in. But no, you finna go into captivity. This is leading to your captivity. Everything you're doing to further enslave people is leading you close to your captivity, man.
Yep. Psalm 7:15, he made a pit and digged it and is fallen into the ditch which he made.
Hey, click on that. Go to verse 11.
Psalms 7:11, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai judges the righteous, and Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is angry with the wicked every day.
He's angry with the wicked every day. Every day that passes by, he gets more and more angry, man. That's why the wrath gonna be so crucial, because it's his anger, all right, that's being provoked, man. That's why we seeing, like I say, 2-year-olds shooting adults, man. That's the anger of the Lord.
Yep.
That's his anger on display. We're gonna make your 2-year-old son kill you, man. All right?
It says, shall not there be evil in the city, and the Lord hath not done it. Like people look at, this was the devil, or this was Satan. No, the Heavenly Father has terminology that he calls judgment, man. And it's executed by the Spirit through the works of the angels, man. All things, whether it's so-called bad or so-called good, all things are handled by the handler himself, Yahweh, man. The judge himself.
Psalm chapter 9, verse 16. The Lord is known by the judgment which he executes. He's known by the judgment which he executes.
Right.
Hey, going back to what we seeing them, they would come by the tyrants. But what was those men known for?
Hey, those judgments.
You see?
Those judgments.
they call them tyrants, but hey, they did things in a certain way, all right, to what? Keep order.
Yep. And put so you can respect their name.
Yep.
You can respect who they were.
Yep.
And that goes back to the ways of the East, the illustrations of the East. It went into that. It was like the men of the East, they were basically very forceful.
Yeah.
And their judgments very cruel.
Yeah, forward.
Yeah, forward in their judgments, man. Like they were known for, beheaded and all that, man.
The Lord is known by the judgment which he executeth. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. See, Esau Edom is doing nothing but digging himself in the pit, because he thinks he's building a new world order, but ultimately he's digging the pit for himself. All right? And by the time he realizes he's in that pit, it's going to be too late. That's right. Yeah,
Come on real quick. Proverbs 26 and 27. Whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein, and he that rolleth a stone, it will return upon him.
Yeah, it will return upon him. Because Esau is it takes energy to roll a stone up a hill.
That's right.
What if your legs give out?
Yeah. And it's like what you call a fight, an uphill battle.
Yeah.
And like you said, you eventually give out, because you really can't endure it all the way to the peak.
Yep.
And when Esau Edom fighting against the Most High himself, that's an automatic L. But the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, man.
Someone that goes on this adventure thinking they can do it. All right? Because pride make you be overconfident in yourself.
Right.
When you get too proud.
And what's that nature show when they get a group of people and they drop them in a remote
Survivor.
location? Yeah, Survivor.
Yeah.
A lot of people, grew up as Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, or lived in a mobile home or a trailer and walked in nature itself, and this should be easy. They get out there and SHIT gets real. They got to build their own home, find their own food. They get ate up by these bugs they never heard of before. A lot of things that
like you said, that pride of life
Yeah.
convince you that you can accomplish and conquer, but the real scenario out there, it manhandles you. Yeah, that's it.
Get that mic, I think 4 and 10. 19 and 2. Because hey, the brother Coins and I made the point on how in the East, you know, when the judgment went forth, it was to make a point. You know, it was to prove a point. Like when King David, he did the Moabites, he had them in line. Yeah. And the first, what was it, 100 of them, he made a step forward.
So you beat it out 2 lines?
Yeah.
Not a mistake.
Yep. 100 of them, he made come forward and killed all of them, and he let the rest join the military. You see? Now, if that happened today, and it was on film, King David would be a tyrant.
Yep.
He's a inhumane tyrant.
He would have been on that documentary.
Yeah.
Right? That is the ways of the East.
Yeah.
Because you can't tell these men, I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, what if you would have had Moab join his army before that happened? They might not have taken him serious.
Yep.
They might not have taken his order serious. So he killed those first, 100 men?
Yep.
All right, now the other one remaining knew, okay, he means business.
He's fucking around.
He ain't fucking around.
Go ahead.
All right, Jeremiah chapter 19, verse 3.
Yep.
And say, hear ye the word of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, O kings of Judah and inhabitants of Jerusalem, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the power of Israel, behold, I will bring evil upon this place, the which whosoever heareth, his ears shall tingle.
Most High said he's going to bring evil on Israel, that whosoever hear it, their ears shall tingle. See, the Most High all about shock factor. You see? He wants something to be done, so when somebody else go tell it, you be like, what? He did what? You know? That's the type of judgment that the Most High finna bring now. He wants that shock value, man.
Yep.
That's the ways of the East, man. They would do things for a shock value, man. What he did to the Egyptians, he kept hardening Pharaoh's heart, just so he can keep bringing it to him, man.
During the Maccabees,
Yeah,
he had the chariots up there,
yeah.
fighting for Israel.
One thing about the East, I'm sorry, bro. One thing about the East, they were big on public examples. The reason why people got stoned in our nation for those abominations, it was a public stoning, so everybody can fear, or to keep everything in order. So basically, the Most High is a tyrant.
Yep.
But when he took down those nations like Egypt, all right, or going back to the Moabites, but going back to Egypt, that was like a public example to the earth. That was a public example for the rest of the nations, man. You know? A public execution in front of the rest of the nations.
Even how extraordinary a stoning is, man.
Yep.
You know, you watching someone go from an animated, lively individual to slowly, eventually withering away until the spirit lead them, man. That's a long, drawn-out process.
Yep.
You know, flesh falling out, eyes swelling up, teeth getting knocked out, skull cracked. You know, Jake was going in, you know,
Oh, yeah.
and with them slangers.
Yeah, James Crow hopping.
It was a brother.
Crow hopping on your ass.
There was a brother that did a video. I had to share that video because he basically broke it down. Like when the Most High destroys these empires, he's stoning their empire. Like Sodom and Gomorrah, like the asphalt is basically stone.
Yeah, fire and brimstone.
Fire and brimstone. So Sodom and Gomorrah got stoned. You know, America about to be stoned, man. That's a public execution in front of the nations, man.
And did not a hailstorm rain down upon Egypt? Up to the shore of the crops. Yeah.
Yep.
And you look at those balls of hail, they really come down the skies like rocks.
Yep.
Yeah, they was on fire.
Yeah.
That's right. Then Psalm 126. My Psalm 119 and 126. Yes.
Now I'm about to get this for you dealing with Moab.
Okay. Yeah, you find that count. Get that in song because this is what we get in the earth. All right, and the Most High has had enough. That's why, like you say, it's gonna be a lot of examples. All right, like they get mad on how we talk to women. Wait till you see how the Most High judge women. You see, they get mad when we go on topics and we bring it out about women. Wait till you see how the Most High execute judgment on women. If you offended us by talking, you're gonna faint when you see the judgment. You're gonna pass out. Go ahead.
It's the book of Psalms 119 and verse 126.
Yep.
It is time for thee, Lord, to work,
Yep.
for they have made void thy law.
It is time for the Lord to work. Why? Because they made void the law. You see?
They respect his
Yeah.
authority.
You can't. The average Jake can't go to the house and tell his woman to be in order and bring out a precept. She gonna make void of that. She gonna like that ain't you know.
And who are you?
Yeah.
Ain't my dad.
Yeah. He can't bring no precept out, you know, to order his house. The average Jake, they made void of that. You can't go to the court of law and be like, look, this man, all right, this man killed my brother because by the law you had to avenge your blood. You really supposed to be able to put that man to death.
Yep.
If he wrongfully killed your brother, if he murdered your brother, you really supposed to be able to put him to death. It's called the avenger of blood, the redeemer kinsman. The Hebrew word for redeemer is ga'al. All right? But you can't go to the courtroom and say, look, Leviticus, all right? No, you're going to be reading Leviticus in the cell, man. You see? So they have made what? Void the law. So now it's just time to go to work. Since y'all don't respect my word, now I just got to go to work. You know? What Jake say when you ain't take him serious? Oh, I guess I ain't talking about shit.
Right. Shit, damn what I'm saying. Huh? Hey, Jay, like, I guess I'm talking to my damn self, huh?
Yeah.
You know? That's not a, yeah, you got it.
So, I mean, because what's happening is his prophets are talking, and the world is talking over his prophets.
Yeah.
You talking to your subjects, and they're talking to each other while you're talking to them. You know, you walk into the classroom and say, I need everybody's attention for this, that, and the third, and they just talking.
Yeah.
So now what happens? You gotta bring in the action.
Yep, that's right. That's right.
That was it on that. Oh, you got them?
I got a precept. This is the book of Micah, chapter 4, verse 1.
Yeah.
But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of the Lord shall be established in the top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and people shall flow unto it.
Yeah. And it's going to be established through power. See, the mountain of the house of the Lord, because this is after Howard Shot showcasing power in the earth. Then the government of Israel is going to be exalted. But this is after the showcase of power. And Howard Shot said, I will not beat thee as a man. All right? He's going to go to war in righteousness. You know? The slain of the Lord going to be from one end of the earth to the other. That's the Lord making work, going to work because they made void the law. And then the government going to be established.
That's right. And it's all we want, because as though it may seem as though Yahweh Hashem Hawashai has held his peace for so long, you know? And that's why, you know, it was said in the book of Psalms, Lord, it is time for thee to work, because now it's time for that particular action, because we know the end result. We know the end game. And it ends in action, man. It ends in very dark, tremendous times happening, you know, to the wicked and evildoers upon the face of this planet. Verse 2, and many nations shall come and say, come and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord and to the house of the Most High of Jacob. And he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths, for the law shall go forth of Zion, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem.
Yeah, and that's after these nations have been beaten into submission. All right? That's when they get tamed by the law. That's the mind frame that they're going to have. Let's go up to Mount Zion. All right? They're going to send the heads of their nations to come to Zion, all right, to get what? The law. And the council of Yahweh Hashem Hawashai from their government, and they're going to go and govern their nations by our law.
Can I say this? Westernization was the shit.
Yep.
The 1500s, 1600s, 1700s, they had doctors to prove they were superior.
Yep.
They had pseudoscience. Yep. You know, people even today, you know, people make an effort to kind of talk like an Edomite. Yep. Eve wear blonde hair. All the nations wear suits and ties.
Yeah, Elon got the Under Armour shoes.
Elon got the Under Armour, you know.
You know, they're wearing deodorant and shit.
Right. But guess what? And the times has come, all right? No, this is going to be the way walking in it.
Right.
And it's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting to look like, imitate the Israelites. You know, they can be moving their arms like us, you know, imitate us. Because they're doing that now in our captivity. We're under in poverty. How much more in power, man?
That's right. That's that power period.
Yep.
Can I jump down for a bit? I'm gonna jump to verse 9. It says, "Now why dost thou cry out aloud? Is there no king in thee? Is thy counselor perished? For pains have taken thee as a woman in travail."
And this is talking about our downfall, man. You know, this is our downfall for disobedience. And now the men of Yahweh Shema Shai in these latter days, we have acknowledged our offenses, man.
That's right.
You know, in return.
Yep.
Because now we want to get back to their glory. But we know, all right, we have to make it through that straight gate. See, go ahead.
With that straight gate begins with repentance and obedience. Verse 10, "Be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail, for now shalt thou go forth out of the city, and thou shalt dwell in the field."
Yeah, and that was us being put out of our land, going to Israel, all right, our city, Jerusalem, and the field is the earth. Going back to the parable of the tares and the wheat, all right, the field is the world, is the earth, man, and we've been scattered throughout the whole earth, all right, but this had to happen, all right, for this to happen. Go ahead.
"And thou shalt go even to Babylon, there shalt thou be delivered. There the Lord shall redeem thee."
Hey, the kinsman redeemer. You see, Yahweh Shai is coming back to pay, all right, and play the kinsman redeemer. Because if your brother became impoverished and he had to sell himself as a servant to another man, all right, well, he had to serve 3 years to that man. But let's just say in 3 years, in a year time, you get enough money, all right, you come into some wealth, you able to buy your brother out there in captivity. Well, what you would have to do, you would have to redeem those 2 years. You would have to pay off those 2 years worth of labor, and you will be able to redeem your brother back. You see, Yahweh Shai is coming to redeem his brethren back. You see, he's finna come get us out this captivity. Right. Whatever time we got left served, he's finna redeem that time and bring us back.
Yep.
You know? Go ahead.
It says, "There shalt thou be delivered. There the Lord shall redeem thee from the hand of thine enemies."
From the hand of thine enemy. And the hand is someone's power, his control. All right? We're going to be delivered from mandates. We're going to be delivered from the MOTB. We're going to be delivered from all these wicked devices that we saw Edom, man. Yep.
Hey, Jeremiah 15:21.
Yep.
"And I will deliver thee out of the hand of the wicked, and I will redeem thee out of the hand of the terrible."
He's going to redeem us out of the hand of the terrible, man. You know? And this is what this thing is all about, man. Like, when you really go into the law and you understand redemption, all right? Hey, this is a powerful thing Yahweh Shai is doing, man. You know, because first his blood purchased us. Because we became, even though we in the captivity on our enemies, now we're serving Yahweh Shai. But see, he's going to physically come get us when he comes the second time, man.
Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 43. "Rejoice, O ye nations, with his people, for he will avenge the blood of his servants."
He will avenge the blood of his servants. The revenger kinsman, man. The avenger of blood. The redeemer kinsman. Hey, because you gotta think, Esau Edom never paid for all that bloodshed that he did on our people.
Right.
He never paid for that bloodshed. That's why, because you go into the law, when you go into the law of the redeemer kinsman, the avenger of blood, all right, you know, let's just say we were, us three brothers was biological brothers, and someone, you know, killed one of us. Well, the person that killed us, we can only, the avenger of blood can only kill that person. It was in our law that you couldn't touch his child, his mother, or none of his kinsmen. You only kill the man that committed the act. That's righteous. Yeah. But Esau, he's been going so many times, he's been going so long unpunished that all the spirits of Edomites on earth are guilty. So when Yahweh Shai get back, he's gonna get all that blood back. That's why the blood gonna be to the horses. Right? Why? Because of the avenger of blood. You see? All you Edomites walking earth are guilty, man. You don't know what you were doing in your past life. Somebody, I never owned slaves. How you know? You weren't there.
Right.
You don't know what you own.
Right. Can you
You know?
explain why you hate niggas deep
Yeah.
down inside of you?
Yeah.
Right.
You don't know how many niggas you helped round up.
Yeah.
You know? You don't know how many these Edomite women walking. You don't know how many Jake you lied on and got them murdered, man. Emmett Till just one case. Yeah,
We got Edomite privilege.
yep.
If you didn't do shit, you enjoyed the fruit of our labor. You Edomite privilege, man.
Receiving stolen goods.
Received stolen goods, man.
And prospered off of it.
And prospered off of it, man.
Hey, that was the lady Jane and the lady Jane. She had all in their class. And she would tell them that. She like, yeah, if you white, you got white privileges. I don't know y'all seen that lady named Jane. And she like,
Yeah.
oh man,
Yeah, the older Edomite.
the old Edomite.
Yeah,
And
the
she
young
said,
Edomite,
yeah, she had them crying.
Yeah, she was
But
crying.
she telling the truth. You live, you got white privileges.
That's
Like I said, I might not have no slave. How the where you benefit off of it? It don't matter.
Yeah. Like if you go rob a bank,
Yeah.
you give me all the money, you get caught, you go away. Everybody know, hey, you got that bank robbing money.
Yeah.
You know, am I associated or disassociated?
See?
Then you start a business with that bank robbing
I
money.
start multiple businesses with that money.
Then you pass those businesses down.
Yeah.
Well, the origin of that money was bank robbery.
Yeah.
So everybody that even generations down, that those businesses were passed to off that bank robbery, they're guilty.
That's right.
Sits with the fact after
Yeah.
the facts like
Especially
that.
After the fact.
So so they get.
That's right. I had a precept for you. Yeah, bro. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 59, verse 20. Well, I started 19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him.
And that's what we're coming into, man. A standard has to be lifted, man. There's no other way for us to be the remnant until Yahweh Shai get back, unless a standard is lifted to preserve us, man.
That's right. So no flesh shall be saved.
Yep, and that's what we need to be tapping into, man. This ain't the time to be engulfed in carnality, man. This is time to have a mindset that's single eye, all right, towards salvation and tapping into our power, man. Doing the things that are pleasing unto Him. You know? But everything else is played out. Everybody else is played out, man.
We tried everything.
Yep.
Nothing worked. We tried men. We tried women's lib. So we gave women a try.
Yep.
We tried Catholic Church.
The 90s R&B.
90s R&B. 1998.
We tried black culture.
We tried black culture, street culture. That doesn't work. We tried Christianity. We tried marching, protesting, requesting. We joined the Congress. We joined the Senate. We voted.
You got degrees.
Went to college.
Yep.
Converted to Islam.
Yep.
Converted to Buddhism. Became vegans. Became committed. What have not we done as a nation of people for us still to not be so-called free?
Yeah. How you think about like Tulsa, Oklahoma? You still having that? They had their own shit. Everything was good, but what happened?
They got knocked out. And Esau didn't even pay for that.
Yeah.
See, that's the benefit of being in power. You're not gonna punish yourself for your wickedness.
Yeah.
All that bullshit that Esau did throughout the course of history, he's not gonna punish himself.
Right.
He's not gonna put himself in prison. You know?
He's so like, hey guys, well, let's just put that behind us,
Yeah.
okay?
On that documentary, the Edomite said that he made a real good point. He said that I'm butchering it up. He was like, time doesn't make injustice justice.
Yeah.
Because Esau has this belief that if you leave it alone long enough,
Yeah.
then there's no more injustice. You know, but according to the scriptures, it says, "What's the sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, the heart of sons of men is not set upon them. If the heart of the sons of men is set upon them to do wickedly."
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. Injustice plus time
Right.
does not equal justice. That's what he
He
said.
said it's fully said.
Yep.
Hey, like slavery.
Yep.
they don't think they should pay for that.
But Esau literally goes by that.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm saying they just don't.
Concerning oppression.
Yep. Injustice plus time
Yeah.
does not equal justice.
Yeah.
That's why he said he holding himself not guilty.
Yep.
Because look, how can you have the power to hold yourself not guilty unless you're the criminal and the judge? That's the only way you can hold yourself not guilty. Because you're the criminal, the police, the jury, and the judge.
Yeah.
And that's how it was during the Emmett Till trial. It's like everybody was Edomites.
Jury.
Yeah, the judge and the jury.
Hey, that's why that pseudo sign, where he deems us 3/5 of the human.
Yeah.
You know, what he calls it, manifest destiny. He has all these different philosophies to try to justify everything he did.
There's no other nation saying but him.
Yeah.
That should raise a red flag in you. Yeah. Okay, just by default, so-called God and the Messiah are so-called white men. Who said that? Esau. Right. All right, just by default, the 12 tribes are 3/5 of a man, and the white person is superior. Who said that?
That's right.
Esau.
And because Esau, Edom is even so proud that even during the time that he overtook the Gadites, so-called North American Indians, he said, we had a fight, they lost.
Yeah.
Going back into that manifest destiny that we're talking about, you know. Hey, but technically, we didn't. The scripture says that our rock has sold us, man. Hey, the Most High weakened us in order for you to overcome and conquer us, man.
Yeah.
And because, simply put, the Heavenly Father used Esau Edom, which is the hammer of the earth, as a whooping stick for his people, man.
That's it.
Hey, but as it is written, he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of my eye, man. So although the Heavenly Father set it up in that particular fashion, he's still going to punish you for putting your hands upon his children, man.
Esau went too far.
He went too far, man.
Hey, because the scripture say you're not supposed to rule over your brother with rigor. You know? And Esau did nothing but rigorous captivity.
Damn, baby. Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 12. Wherefore it shall come to pass that when the Lord have performed his whole work upon Mount Zion and on Jerusalem, I will punish the fruit of the stout heart of the king of Assyria.
And that's talking about Esau Edom. You know? That stout heart. Hey, because he got proud.
Right.
Esau got proud and he got carried away with it, man.
Yeah.
You know? Hey, what's that, Zechariah 1:15? Wrong shot. You know? Like a scripture gonna go into it how, you know, the heathens, beginning with Esau and Edom, they went too far with it, man. You know? Because we went off for our disobedience. But now, Esau funds our disobedience.
Yep.
You know? Yeah. He promotes our disobedience now. Go ahead.
Zechariah 1:15. I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease.
The Most High is displeased with the heathen that are at ease. And why they are at ease? Because our people have been out of order, which has forwarded their rulerships in the earth, man. Go ahead.
For I was but a little displeased, and they helped forth the affliction.
I was a little displeased with my people, but they forwarded the affliction. They went too far. You know? What is Ezekiel 35:5? Yep. They went too far, man. It was like, damn. You know? You gonna time the horses,
Yeah.
split them up. Then you gonna make some jeans.
Break little boards.
Yeah. Buck breaking.
Then when the oppression was over, you got Jim Crow to further the
Yeah.
oppression.
Yeah. Systematic racism after
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
Hey, because like I mentioned earlier, Esau Edom, even if you say that you didn't have a part in this, why do you hate us so much, man? The scripture says that you have had a perpetual hatred against your brother Jacob, man. So it's all through the spirit. That's why Jacob held first the heel of Esau, man. And that's what's coming. Esau Edom is being overtaken through the spirit right now, but he's going to be physically overtaken when Yahweh Shem Yahushua comes back, man.
Hey, I asked one but I said, why white folk hate niggas so much? I don't even know. They don't know.
It's a
Yeah.
it's a spiritual order.
Yeah.
It's spiritual. You know? It's an ancient hatred. It ain't just starting.
Yeah.
All right? And transatlantic slave trade. No, it's an ancient hatred.
Yeah.
You know, and it just manifested to what it is today.
Ezekiel chapter 35 and verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred,
That has had a perpetual hatred. Go ahead.
and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel
They have shed the blood of the children of Israel. Go ahead.
by the force of the sword.
By the force of the sword. Hey, and how you know Esau's hatred was perpetual? Because we were talking about Tulsa, Oklahoma. Jake wasn't forming the military to go try to get revenge for what Esau did to them in slavery, their forefathers. Jake was just trying to pretty much chill.
Yeah.
They were separated.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Jake wasn't trying to avenge themselves on what happened to them in slavery.
Yep.
Jake was pretty much just trying to live, have family, have businesses.
We can
Yep.
do our own thing.
Yeah.
We can leave them white people alone.
But what Esau come with?
He came with fire.
With that sword,
He
man.
came with that sword.
He would never let Jake be. Go ahead.
They eat my chick.
Yep.
She probably only eating my chick with them. I don't know how the fuck that bitch got, but I don't know. She was there, and that's how all the shit came down. Cause she, what it say? What's in she was like in elevator.
Yeah.
And then, so when he came out, she started screaming.
Yeah.
We go ahead, go ahead, bro. So after that, eating my chick, and did all that, and then they brought the hell
You
to
know,
them.
it's heavy. It started out as a race war.
Yeah.
Now people, word is, Esau was getting his ass whooped on a race war. Then they came with them bombs.
Yeah.
You know, but I always had a suspicion they was putting no bomb in them anyway.
Anyway, oh yeah.
They just built up some storyline.
Because the government stepped in. Yep.
And that's everything, all of it on fire.
Even with that Black Wall Street.
That we talking about, yeah.
What about Rosewood? How did that burn down?
I thought you were talking about Rosewood. Yeah. When she came out that the movie depiction.
The
right?
movie, yeah, on that one, like he said he raped her, but one it was a
It's the same story.
It's the same.
Yeah.
Lie every time they spark it off.
Every time.
yeah.
Even
Till.
Tulsa, Oklahoma,
Yeah.
Rosewood.
Yep.
You know, but that's why, hey, that's how you know what Esau really hates. He doesn't want you to build in this society. He wants you to destroy it. That's why he's big on nigger culture. Esau loves nigger culture. But the moment you build something, that's when there's gonna be a adversity, man.
Ezekiel 35 and 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword. In the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end.
The time that their iniquity had an end. And even with this New World Order, this is Esau saying, I ain't never letting your people go.
Yeah.
That's why this whole MOTB, that's Esau saying, I ain't never letting your people go.
That's how you know he's a modern day Pharaoh.
Yeah. These my slaves forever. And I got some power. You see, it sounds good now. You know?
Hey, because the captivity for the children of Israel was up during the time of the Egyptians, man.
Yeah.
You know, that's why he had sent this prophet. That's why he sent this prophet Moses.
Yeah.
With Pharaoh hard in his heart. Sorry, bro.
No, so starting with Elder Abba Bivens, he stood in the stead of Moses. Because in the captivity, the Most High said of Moses, the man Pharaoh to let his people go.
Yep.
But ours, we had to wake up to who we were to even know that we were in captivity.
Right.
And that was the purpose of Elder Abba Bivens.
Yeah. Hey, because there came a falling away first.
Yep.
You know? Two different captivities, but something that transitioned to where we lost the name, we lost the heritage, we lost the customs, and we lost our identity altogether.
Yep. Isaiah 47:6. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand.
Yeah, so like you said earlier, it wasn't that, you know, oh, we had a fight with the Native American and we won. No, we were giving it to your hands, right? All right? Yeah. And the main thing that got you that got you the edge was that damn Gatling gun. The Most High gave you that Gatling gun. Because if you didn't have that Gatling gun, it'd be a different history.
Yeah.
Because Gad was using their arrows like it was a goddamn Gatling gun.
Yeah, you had Gadites, they could shoot 3 arrows in 1.5 seconds.
They run a service around
Yeah.
Esau, man.
You know, you had one Gadite chief, he could shoot 10 missiles in the air for the first one hit the ground, man. You know?
The Gatling gun and what was
The
that?
cavalry,
And the pops.
yeah, small pox,
Small
chemical
pox,
warfare,
yeah.
chemical
Chemical
warfare, yeah.
Smallpox blanket.
Most High had to break him down.
Yep.
Hey, because he was giving Esau, Edom a run for his money, man. Say, all right.
Moving down there in the swamp. And Esau didn't want that work, man.
Hey, you get them Eagle Warriors?
Yep.
They can run 300 miles?
Yeah. No. Yeah, without stopping.
Hey, they had games with Gad, they'd come tap Esau on the shoulder, go back into the woods, man. Yeah, who can touch you, who can get the most touches, man. Esau, you a light work, man.
Yeah.
But that Gatling gun training, but it had to happen for prophecy. Because the Most High was mad at us. You know, he had to break us down because, hey, that shows we the sons of God. Like, God had to intervene to kind of break us down, man.
But as it is written, right? A troop shall overcome him.
Yep.
But he shall overcome in the end.
Yep. Go ahead.
Isaiah 47:6. I was brought from my people, I have polluted mine inheritance, and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient has thou very heavily laid thy yoke.
There shows no mercy upon the ancient.
That's what I'm looking quick inferring that. I looked up inheritance, and this goes back to Allah, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Inheritance goes back to possession, property.
Right here.
Not Kawada. And it says it goes back to possession, property, inheritance, property. So the Most High literally gave us over to Esau as though we were property, man. You know?
Esau, he went too far.
Yeah.
Refused it. Yeah. No, he said no mercy. Thou didn't show them no mercy, man. Like he said, because Jake wasn't militant against Esau, man, but Esau never had any mercy, man.
Yeah. Hey, what you do with your property? If you want to give it to another person, you lend it out to him. Yep. When you go back into retrieve it, you want it what? In the same condition.
Yep.
But Esau, Edom didn't do that, man.
Yep.
Broken and bruised.
Yep.
The Most High's people.
You got the Levites. You got Kodak Black. You know, Lil Wayne. These Levites now. You go from that priesthood in the ancient world. But he give it to Esau, you turn them people out, man. What the hell?
But that goes back to what's that? Habakkuk.
Yeah.
How you giving a drink to thy neighbor?
Yeah.
And making him drunken.
Woe to him to give a drink destruction.
Yeah, because he gave the 12 tribes, and I have to say the 12 tribes, because over there in Central America, you got MS-13 and things alike. But he basically gave them a culture that causes us to counsel ourselves out.
That's self-destruct. Roman Catholicism,
Self-destruct, self-hatred. You know, he gave the 12 tribes purposely a culture that engineered them to counsel themselves out, so the blame won't be put back on you.
Hey, you know, we were watching, I sent you a video yesterday. I saw you that video about that Ishmaelite woman, what she was saying, like how she tried to keep her man self-esteem low.
Yep.
And she say, she was like, so what are the things you do to keep your man depressed? She was like, if he got a dream, I tell him he'll never achieve it, you know. She was just saying it calmly. Like she was like, I just tell him he's not gonna keep it, you know. He said, I did whatever I can do to keep him in doubt. I said, God damn.
Was he conquer him or make him stay?
Just to keep him depressed. I just want to keep him depressed.
So that's why the sister, Dr. Shahrazad Ali, she said in her book that basically Esau, the so-called white man, was set up to basically oppress the so-called black man, but he engineered our women to like further the oppression, to hit us in areas where he can't hit us.
Yeah. What they say, take a mic hands up.
Revelation chapter 11 and verse 10. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry and shall send gifts one to another.
And pretty much we was the gift. And see, these other nations rejoice with us being down because it meant they get the rule. Alright? It meant they get the rule. That's like the Israelites are the set judges of the earth. You know? Right. Everyone is supposed to be pretty much in tune with our standards. But see, when we was moved from our position, then now they can make their own standards.
Right. And because they waited for those particular moments when the Most High turned his back upon us. Because then they knew they can go out and play.
Yep.
Like, oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, we got them now.
We can eat what we want.
Yep.
You know, we can make rules up as we go. Yeah.
And shall send gifts one to another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwelt on the earth. And after 3 days and a half,
After 3 days and a half, those 350 years. Go ahead.
the spirit of life from the heavenly Father entered into them.
Entered into them. They say when their iniquity had an end, Most High sent that spirit back, and it's spiritual because it was going back to 1969. But what happened in the 60s? The feminist movement. All right, the integration area. You see that? It's like our captivity ended, but he put the bullshit back in the game, man.
Kind of counter it.
Now he took our minds captive. You know, then it laid on to the what they call the black exploitation.
He Frankensteined us.
Yeah.
After slavery, he Frankensteined the 12 tribes, man. Because you didn't hear about gangs in the Northern Kingdom. What they call it, like I said, the MS-13, they got another name for it.
The cartel.
The cartel. You weren't hearing about that prior to the 60s, man. That's my knowledge. All that happened after the awakening period, man.
Last King.
Black Kings, man.
MS-13.
But it's all, but if you go to books like Codex Magica, all the gangs have the same symbols that Esau has.
Yeah, witchcraft.
Witchcraft, man. You Frankenstein the 12 tribes, man.
Yep.
I gotta put the 12 tribes more, you know?
How you go like that? That spirit of life entered into them. That's when Esau heavily enchanted Jacob.
Because what was it? It was a black and brown movement.
Yep.
It was the Southern and Northern Kingdom together protesting.
Yep.
You know?
You know, 'cause that's what I always say. We all trying to get the black and brown to take the always black and brown.
The vulnerable population.
Yeah,
Right. The
Gas,
poorest population.
huh?
yeah.
The poorest population.
And if you give a fuck about their health so much, why do you have the lowest grade of food where they live?
Yep.
The lowest grade of food in America is where the 12 tribes reside. Which is why there's such a vulnerable population in the first place.
Still want to get jabbed up.
But you want them to get jacked, come on, man.
Because they love you so much.
Right. But they got you on a reservation, but they love you so much.
Yeah.
You in the projects, but they love you so much.
You get pulled over asking where you're going because they love you so much.
So,
Right.
you know,
You don't just want to make sure you're safe. No. Where have you seen that happen?
You want to make sure you're safe.
And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the heavenly Father entered into them.
The Holy Spirit is our living. See? So this is what we get now. This is the fruits of that spirit enter into the earth. This is what you see now, because pretty much you have a nation, all right? The elect is a nation within itself based off that spirit, and that spirit came with knowledge and understanding and also a standard. You got it.
And they stood upon their feet,
Yep.
and great fear fell upon them which saw them.
Yeah, because like Zaquan said, they Frankensteined us. See, Frankenstein was snapped out of them.
Yep.
You see, now it's an actual spirit within Frankenstein. You see? You know?
And then if you go into the actual book, we have to read, ironically, we have to read the book Frankenstein the year before I came into the truth, right?
Yeah, keep that.
Well, Frankenstein actually left in the actual movie Frankenstein, the book. He escaped from that demonic laboratory he was in, and then when he found out that he was actually more superior than the humans.
Yeah, hey, so he really escaped the way of thinking.
Yep. That's why, and I believe that's why they made the movie Get Out.
Yep.
That's why, because it was really for the 12 tribes, man. You know, we was in a Frankenstein zombie state, man.
Right. Hey, and we're the only ones who are stuck in that state of mind. Because the other nations, they see it.
Yep.
The other nations, they know it. You know, but they understand truly how the power has blinded his people. Because even when you read what's that in the book of Exodus, when the Pharaoh at that time, he said, "Oh, the children of Israel are more and mightier than we."
Yep.
You know,
He's seen before. Yeah, he's seen before we did.
he seen it before we did. So
Okay.
how much more Esau eat them? That's new Pharaoh.
Now look at this picture of Frankenstein, right? Now think about 21 Savage. Think about Kodak Black.
yeah.
Now, you know,
They're dead, dark.
think about all them like tattoos on their head.
Lil Wayne.
Yeah, you know, that's Esau finished product, man.
Yep.
Yep.
They created that monster. They
And
created
there's
all them
13
monsters.
members,
Yeah.
You know,
Mentionless women shall bring forth monsters.
Isaiah 59 and 20, and the Redeemer shall come to Zion, and unto them that turn from transgression in Jacob, said the Lord.
Said the Redeemer shall come to Zion, and Zion is what? The Zion, the memorial. And see, the elect represent the memorial of Israel, because the elect is that beacon of light in the earth that reminds the Most High why He chose these people, man. You see? And like you said, like Frankenstein really make you think of like people like Lil Uzi Vert,
Yeah.
people like that, man. And that's like that. Yep. Lil Uzi Vert, them.
All
That's
weird
the music,
motherfuckers.
man. Know that?
I got a question for you. Yeah, what you said, like,
Proverbs 6 and 23, for the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life.
Yep. And the obedience. All right. That obedience, that's a light that says the commandments is like a light, a lamp. So the obedience of the elect is like a light shining in the earth. And that's what the Most High sees. That's like Zion is the memorial, man. You know? Our obedience has gotten the attention of the Yahweh Shem outside. That's why we see this thing getting wrapped up. You know? Oh, you had no idea.
Yeah, verse 21, last verse of Isaiah 59 and 21.
Yep.
As for me, this is my covenant with them, said the Lord. My spirit that is upon thee, and my words which I have put in thy mouth, shall not depart out of thy mouth, nor out of the mouth of thy seed, nor out of the mouth of thy seed, said the Lord, from henceforth and forever.
Yeah, because this covenant that we're coming into, all right, the second covenant, where Yahweh Shai, you know, is the mediator, this is going to be eternal. That's why it's not going to depart from my seed or our seed. You know, because the Most High is remembering His promise with Abraham, but that promise translates to this new covenant with Yahweh Shai, the New Testament. See?
Right.
So the mediator of this New Testament, man. So it says it's not going to depart from the seed or the seed, which means what? It's going to be everlasting. Because see what happened? How did we get into captivity? Because the law departed from our seed. It was a generation of Israelites that went off. See, in the new covenant, that's not going to happen because the law is going to be within our inward part. You know?
yeah, reading with Hebrews, the prophet Jeremiah.
Yep.
Micah chapter 2, verse 10, arise ye and depart, for this is not your...
2:1.
Micah 2 and 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds.
Yeah, this is the elite. And their beds represent their comfort within their rulership. Going back into what we were going into, like the Frankenstein, the feminist movement, the thought culture. These are all things that these people came up with, and it was in the power of their hand.
It was premeditated.
Yeah, because they control the Hollywood. They control the music industry. They control these things, man. The money, you know. Like they set the standards of who get paid what.
Yep.
Now, why does a rapper, all right, get paid more than the engineer? All right?
Yeah.
What can the earth do without a rapper or an engineer, man? Like I was saying, like, if you took certain men off the earth, you will feel it. Like, there's particular jobs that you can't just feel. Like, those, it's certain men that they had to get trained for decades to get to that point. Like, it's particular men, if you took them out from position, the earth will feel it, man.
Well, that's why it says in Sirach 38, without these should not a city be inhabited.
Yeah.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
So why does Kodak Black get paid more than the former, man? Go ahead.
Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand.
Go ahead.
And they covet fields and take them by violence.
And pretty much fields go back to the earth. So different portions of the earth they covet and take it by violence, but that was part of their blessings. They would get the fatness of the earth, but they would do it by what? The sword. Go ahead.
And houses and take them away.
Yep. A man's dwelling, because a man's dwelling begins with his nation, his inheritance, then also his actual household, which is going to go into something.
So they oppress a man and his house.
They oppress a man in his house. Going back to what Zaquan was saying earlier, Esau Edom, he has weaponized a woman to the point where she's an extension of his oppression in your house, man. The woman is an extension of Esau's oppression in your house, man.
I make a point. The brother just did a lesson about Eve being an advocate for Esau.
Yeah.
A supporter.
Yep.
That's a spirit we're around. Right?
She's an extension of this man's oppression. Because she judged you by what?
Esau's standard. Not the standard of the serpent. Yeah. That's why, fear Yahweh Shah, keep his commandments. Yep. Eve is trying to, Eve is making an effort to make you align. She wants to align you with Esau. Marriage, all these things to align you to your oppressor, man.
That's why pretty much, that's why they go into when you get married, like the guy Craig Adams, he said you're married in the state. You're not married a woman. All right? Because what? Marriage is what? Joined together. When it's going to free. So you're pretty much joining together to the state. Because now you got to report to the state on every move that you make.
When you join through the biblical way, Yahweh Shem Al-Shah is that third party.
Yep.
But now the state or Esau has removed the Most High and included himself.
And that's why they got these unrighteous decrees. Because pretty much, according to our law, Dr. Dre wife supposed to leave with nothing. Right. All right? Michael Jordan wife supposed to live with nothing.
But that's why you get the term alimony.
Yep.
When you go to that term alimony, moves to nourish.
Yep.
So that woman lifestyle specifically being nourished by you, although she's not in your household.
Yep. And that's awful. Why? Because you're married to the state now. The state is telling you how much to pay your wife, your ex-wife. The state is telling you how much child support to pay. Because that's who you marry. That's who you join to now. You know?
The scriptures say, men are not for another man's affairs.
Yep.
Esau profit off of it, man. He profit off the getting married, he profit off the divorce.
Jake was breaking it down to me. He was like, really, Esau, so-called white man, that's the pimp. The woman is the hoe, and really you the trick. That's it. So it is a new way of pimping. So the woman, if we really being tricked, we're really tricking off to these women by getting married and having kids, and 20 years later, she walking off with the bag. 10 years later, she walking off with the bag. Through who though? The pimp. Back to the pimp, man. Now, I'm gonna get there real quick. It says Sirach 8:2, give not thy soul unto a woman to set her foot upon thy substance. And also going down, meet not with an harlot, let's not fall into her snares. And part of those snares is those blandishments that her pleading you to get married through the state. She want more kids and stuff, because but she's really a harlot. And those snares, especially at the end of the day, you're coming out of pocket.
It's an Instagram model, her name Brittany Renner. And she was scouting this college basketball player by the name of PJ, I can't think of his last name right now. But while he was he just turned 18. So she was going to his college games and things of that sort. And she put that thing on him, he married her, got joined to the NBA. And about 2 weeks after they had the baby, she divorced him.
So she was he was 18 and she was 26. A vulture. A vulture. He didn't stick his head into the real world yet.
What was his mentor, man? He's supposed to see that a mile away.
And she came out with a video years ago. She's from Mississippi. Yeah. She went to Jackson State. But she came out with video. She came out with video years ago in her car. She was giving the game. She's like, "You want to come up?" She's like, "Just have sex with an athlete." They wear no comments. She did that and manifested. But it was a rumor came out that she was in court only on. He was getting like $220,000 a month.
You can't afford
it. It was false though.
But see, these women, they're not attracted to them.
Yeah.
They're attracted to their finances.
And lifestyle.
Their lifestyle.
Hey, cousin. At the end of the day, majority of women, you got two types of women. Either they gonna pursue a career and go hard body in the career, so they don't have to listen to the man because they can finance their own lifestyle. Or you got women that's gonna come in the spirit of deception and manipulation, so you can finance their lifestyle, man. Them are two type of women, man.
Especially of our nation.
Yeah.
Of our nation, because the other nations of women, they'll get a career and get a husband in the same 4 years.
Yep.
They'll go to college and get their career or their degree, but in the same 4 years, they found the husband. But Eve, man, you know,
That's why we in the mind frame now detaching from everything, man. Anything that important don't deserve no energy right now, man.
It'd be like real big.
Yep.
Cut that shit.
Cut that bitch off. You know? Hell, that's the spirit. Anything that ain't important don't deserve no energy right now. Alright, as men, we know we gotta pay bills, that's a given. You know? But all that extra shit, man, cut that shit off, man. It don't matter, man. What's the worst thing that can happen? You can leave. You ain't left yet. You know?
This is 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 11. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved.
And these things also include people. The things that's going to be dissolved also includes people. All right? So seeing that all these things and people outside the elect going to be dissolved, go ahead.
What manner of persons ought ye to be?
What manner of persons ought you to be? We supposed to be numb to the majority of things, all right, that doesn't have anything to do with prophecy and salvation, man. Go ahead.
In all holy conversation.
In all holy conversation, a separate conversation.
And godliness.
Yep, a separate conduct. You see? Go ahead. Yep.
Verse 12. Looking forward and hasting unto the coming of the day of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
Go ahead.
Nevertheless, we according to his promise look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelt righteousness.
Hey, we look forward to a new heaven, a new rulership, and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness, man. And see, we got to already move like we there, man. See, we already left this place, man. It's a whole different energy we supposed to be coming in, man. This shit played out. We passed this, man. You know, like you say, that romantic, that caring, they're caring about the whole nation. No, they ain't gonna make it, man. We gone. They still here. They finna die here, man. So we gotta move in a whole different energy, man. Because pretty much, if you giving too much energy to someone that's not right, you pretty much entertaining death. You be better off going to the graveyard. You know? These people dead, man. This is life. You know? We should surround ourselves with life, man. As much as possible in these times, man. And focus on the joy of the Yahweh, man. The hell with this place, man. We are like the lesson that Elder Zahab experienced on him through yesterday was we was never the problem, man. Hey, we way better than what these people said we was, man. We got a way higher ceiling than what these people are trying to put us in this box, man. We done broke out this shit, man. All right?
We got
out.
out.
To the ancient world, you know. These women are nothing, man. That's what we used to call these women out west. They nothing. Like, you dealing with a nothing, man.
No nothing.
They call her NAB, nothing ass bitch.
Yeah, nothing ass bitch. You see? Oh, ain't even worried to be cupbearer, man.
Little bitty bitch.
Yeah, bitch don't know what a cupbearer is, man. You know? And that's the energy we coming in, man. All right? You got it, bro.
Hey, but with that, you know, we hope you brothers and sisters were edified. Hey, once again, we want to give our honor and glory to
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem Kakadash.
Double underside elder apostles, great millstone rule well. Peace and blessing to the house of everything elect. Above. Bless y'all. Shalom. Shalom.
Say it now, boom.
He did it in the right spot.